Hello, good evening everyone. Can anyone confirm in the chat box if I am audible and is my screen visible? Okay, thank you for the confirmation. So today there is no noise, right? No disturbing noise. Is the audio clear? You can type clear in the chat box if the audio is clear. Okay, thank you Nilesh. Okay, so welcome everyone to the day 4 of Motor OD session. I am Yogesh Lakhwani and by now we have completed lot of things and I hope you are practicing it and you are repeating the concepts and you are trying to solve the questions and trying to relearn the concepts. So my advice to you all before we start today is you have to keep practicing, you have to keep applying the logics, otherwise what will happen, there is a lot of material to learn. So by the time you reach the examination date, some topics may get diluted, so it is advisable to at least practice one question per day. Okay, so we are in the day 4. Today the disclaimer is removed, but I would say you the same thing, this is for educational purpose only and these are my personal views and may not necessarily reflect the views of my employer or the organization. So with this, let's start off with today's topic. Today what we are going to cover is the NCB table. Okay, so up till now we have covered the claims part, we covered some memory based question. Today we will be doing the NCB based question. So this is the 4th most important topic from examination point of view, and this is one of the again the 4th most favorite topic for the examiner because lot of questions can be formed out of NCB. So first of all, let us understand what is NCB. NCB, the full form is no claim bonus. Okay, in questions it might come like this, NCD, no claim discount. Earlier it was called no claim discount, and in some countries it is also known as no claim discount, but in India we call it no claim bonus, right? So bonus is something, a kind of a discount that we give to the customer when there is a no claim in a particular year. Okay, so the table of NCB is very simple, very easy to learn. I would say the easiest table to learn is the NCB table. So let's start. If a customer has not made any claim, okay, not made any claim or there is no pending claim during the preceding full year of insurance, then we allow him discount of 20%. So if there is one claim free year, then the customer will be eligible for 20% discount. Okay, so no claim in one full year, 20% discount. Then next slab is 25%. No claim in the preceding 2 consecutive years. The word here is consecutive years of insurance. So if I am taking the policy from past 2 years continuously without any break and I have not made even a single claim, I will be eligible for a discount of 25% on renewal. Okay, so let us memorize this table. The first number 20 and the last number 50 are multiples of 10, rest all are multiples of 5 at a gap of 10. So it is 25, 35, 45. Very simple. So first and last is 20 and 50, and then 25, 35, 45. Easy. So no claim in the say 5 consecutive years, then the customer will be eligible for a discount of 50% on what? Whole premium or own damage premium. The customer will be eligible for discount on OD premium. There is no discount on TP premium. TP premium is charged as it is. Okay. So let us start with solving questions on this. But before, there are some important points or the memory based question you can say which can come in the exam. So I have put it on the slide. So the first point is NCB is not applicable on motor trade policies. Now motor trade policies are the policies which are taken by the dealers, and these policies are generally known as EFG policies. Okay. So these policies are not eligible for NCB discount. Second point is it is not applicable for policies covering only fire and theft. It is a restricted cover. Okay. Sometimes the customer lives abroad and the vehicle is generally parked in their garage. So they say, okay, we don't want this cover, we just want the basic insurance of fire and theft. So NCB is not earned on the basic cover of fire and theft. Next important point is the sunset clause. By now you must have already read this. It is applicable for the period from 1st July 2002 to 30th June 2003. So sunset clause says if in this particular year, if any customer was enjoying 55% or 65% NCB, then he will continue to enjoy it until he makes a claim. Okay. So suppose we have a customer who is continuously renewing a policy with us from 2003 and he is renewing till date 2023 and he was enjoying 65% NCB, then he will continue to enjoy 65% NCB until he makes a claim. Now there is a logical understanding, say 20 years for a vehicle is too much, because generally after 15 years the registration is over, then it is renewed for 5 years, then what? So a customer with this kind of NCB, what he will do, he will transfer this NCB to his new vehicle. When he is selling off his old vehicle, he can transfer this NCB to a new vehicle. So it is a possible case customer can enjoy this NCB for next 25 years also by changing the vehicles. Selling one vehicle, taking NCB certificate and taking that NCB on the same class of other vehicle. Right? Next point is NCB confirmation letter to previous company within 21 days and reply within 30 days. What is this? This is required for every insurer. It is a compulsory, what you can say, a guideline for every insurance company who is accepting a policy on the basis of declaration of NCB. For example, I am coming to your office and I am telling you, boss, I am eligible for 50% NCB. I have not made a single claim in the past 5 years. You kindly give me a policy with 50% NCB. So you will give me a declaration form or a proposal form in which there will be inbuilt declaration that I have not made any claim in past 5 years and you will give me NCB of 50%. Okay. So what is your duty after this particular process? Your duty is to write to my previous company within 21 days. Okay. Seeking a confirmation that so and so person has declared 50% NCB in our policy period. Kindly confirm whether he was eligible for the same, or kindly confirm whether there was any claim in your policy period. So the previous company is obliged to reply to this letter within 30 days. Okay. After they receive the letter, they have to reply it within 30 days. And if there is no written confirmation from the previous insurer within 30 days, then the NCB, which is assumed on declaration basis, stands clarified. Okay. So nowadays what we are using IIB. In exam they can also ask you the full form of IIB. It is Insurance Information Bureau. So IIB is a real-time portal on which you can check the claim history of a particular vehicle. You have to enter the vehicle number, engine number and chassis number. Okay. Once you enter these 3 details, if the portal is updated, they will give you the right information, and on the basis of this, many insurance companies are settling the claims without the requirement for this letter confirmation. Okay. Slowly this will become completely online and the need of sending letters will also go away. Next is NCB on the expired policy is valid for 90 days from expiry. Now what is this? 90 days from expiry. Suppose my policy is vehicle policy is expiring on 15th of June, for example, okay, and I am out of station and I forgot to renew the policy. I came back in the month of August and I saw, okay, my policy is already expired in the month of June. So can I renew this policy in the month of August? Yes, I can renew this policy. Will I be eligible for the NCB because I was already enjoying 45%? Yes, I will be eligible for NCB because I am renewing the policy within 90 days from the expiry of the policy. Okay. So once this 90 days window closes, once you enter into the 91st day, the NCB becomes 0. Okay, even if you are at 50%, it will not go back to the previous slab, it will go back to 0. So the customer will have to again start from the 0. Same is the case with the claim. Suppose if a customer is enjoying 50% NCB in a particular year and he makes a claim, the NCB will go back to 0. It will not go back to 45% or 35%. It will directly go back to 0 and he will have to restart the complete process. I hope my speed is okay. I hope I am able to communicate properly. Can anyone confirm on speed? Speed is fine, or should I slow down? Or this chat box is not updating. 1 second. Speed okay? Okay, thank you. So last point, NCB certificate validity. Now what is this? Suppose I am selling a vehicle on which I was enjoying 50% NCB, right? So, but I do not intend to buy a new vehicle right now. I want to wait for some time. Some new model is coming in the market and I want to wait for it. But at the same time, I don't want to lose the NCB also. So what I can request to the insurance company is to issue me a NCB certificate, a no claim bonus certificate. Now, insurance company can issue this certificate on the basis of sale proof. Suppose I have to give them sale proof that okay, this vehicle was enjoying 50% NCB, I have sold this vehicle. Okay, now it is no more in my name. Kindly issue me a NCB certificate. So on the basis of this, insurance company will issue me a NCB certificate which will be valid for 3 years. Okay, not 90 days. Now this will be valid for 3 long years from the date of expiry or from the date of sale, whichever is applicable. Okay, if it is issued from the date of expiry, no problem. I have completed the full year of insurance. I can get eligibility for the next slab. Suppose if I am asking from the date of sale, then the insurance company will check what was the previous NCB slab and they will give me the certificate accordingly. For example, I was enjoying 45% and in the mid-year I sold my vehicle. So I was enjoying 45%. So insurance company cannot give me a certificate of 50% because I have not completed the full year. Okay, so they will give me, you were enjoying 45% NCB and when you go for this certificate, next renewal you will get the same NCB. Now this NCB can be used for the same insurance company or it can be used for any insurance company in the market. It is not mandatory for a customer to renew with the same insurance company. He can renew the policy with any insurance company. This certificate is valid throughout the general insurance industry. So there is a question in the chat box also. Can you please clarify tariff of NCB for company vehicles used by employee in case of the vehicle is transferred from employee to company? From employee to company. Okay, I can give you an example like this. Suppose if a person has been given a vehicle by a company, okay, say ABC Insurance Company has given a vehicle to a person named Ramesh. Ramesh is the user of the vehicle. Ramesh has used the vehicle for 5 years. Okay, now after 5 years, insurance company plans to give the vehicle to Ramesh in his own name. So as Ramesh was the single user of the vehicle, whatever NCB is earned by the company on that particular vehicle will be given to the Ramesh in the next renewal. Okay, so if suppose he has not made any claim in the 5 years, he will be eligible for 50% NCB when the vehicle is transferred in his name. Okay, clear? So let's go to One second. Up to this point, any doubt, any query? Anything regarding NCB that you want to ask? NCB is GR. What? Can you confirm in the chat box which GR is NCB? I will give you two options, GR17 or GR27. Which GR is NCB? This question can be asked in 1 to 2. This is GR27. Okay, great. Let's proceed. So before we go to the questions, today I want to introduce 3 add-ons to you, which are generally offered by almost all the insurance companies. Okay, so the add-ons which are common in the market, in examination questions can be asked from those add-ons. Those add-ons which are not very common in the market, there is a very less probability of question coming from those add-ons. Okay, so let's start with the nil depreciation. What is the nil depreciation? As the name suggests, at the time of the claim, this is applicable at the time of the claim. At the time of the claim, there will be no depreciation on any of the parts or any of the paint. For example, there is a part of 1000 rupees, a plastic part of 1000 rupees. So if he is having a nil depreciation claim, he will get full 1000 rupees from the insurance company. No 50% depreciation on it. As simple as that. Okay. Next is invoice protect or return to invoice. Invoice protect cover says this cover will trigger at the time of total loss or constructive total loss. Okay. What this cover pays, suppose a person is using the vehicle for 3 years and he is having this invoice protect cover from day 1, and unfortunately if the vehicle meets with an accident after 3 years and the IDV by now must have reduced by at least 30-40%. So let us assume a vehicle of 10 lakh rupees became a vehicle of 6 lakhs rupees after 3 years, and the vehicle now has met with a total loss. He purchased the vehicle for how much rupees? Let us assume the value has not changed and he has purchased the vehicle for 10 lakh rupees. So if he has opted for this cover, in simple words, he will get this full 10 lakh rupees at the time of a total loss claim. It is as simple as that. Now this is the description of the cover in the most simplest form. Nowadays we are also covering RTO charges, the registration charges. Let us assume it is 30,000 rupees. We are also covering road tax, which is approximately 1.5%, so you can say 1,50,000. Now these are approximate figures, it will vary state to state or it will vary time to time. And we are also covering first year OD premium. So OD premium is, for example, let us assume for a private car it is 25,000. Okay, we are just assuming these figures. So if the vehicle is meeting with an accident, a TL or a CTL in the 3rd year, then instead of 6 lakhs rupees, he will be getting the total of all this. It is approximately 12 lakh rupees, which is double of 6 lakh rupees, you can see. Okay. So what ideally this cover does is, it is I would say a best example of indemnifying the customer. Suppose a customer is driving a vehicle for 3 years and the vehicle meets with an accident. He cannot buy a new vehicle in 6 lakhs rupees for sure today, right? So this cover enables a customer to buy a brand new vehicle of the same make and model which he was using on the date of accident. Obviously, we charge a good amount of premium for this cover. This cover is advisable to be given to only those customers where there is no moral hazard, and we also look what kind of vehicle he is buying or what is generally the NCB of his previous vehicles. Some history has to be checked for a prudent underwriting, because you can see how dangerous this cover can be. A customer can get a new vehicle for an old vehicle with this cover, right? So you have to be cautious at the time of allowing this cover. So you are asking, is this applicable to theft cases as well? Yes, a theft case is a clear-cut case of a total loss. It is applicable in theft cases. this will be applicable. Okay, this is for NCB. Clear? So let us go to NCB Protect. What is NCB Protect? NCB Protect is a cover which says, now I told you, even in case of a one claim, if a customer is enjoying 50% NCB, next year if he has claimed in this year, next year the NCB will become 0%. So this NCB Protect cover says, okay, you have not made any claim in CS 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Now unfortunately there is an accident and you are making a claim. We will not count it as a claim and you will continue to enjoy the NCB which you were enjoying. Okay. So for example, if I was enjoying 35% NCB in a particular year and unfortunately my vehicle is met with an accident, insurance company will not count it as a claim because I have opted for this NCB Protect and I will be eligible for 45% NCB in the next year. Now this cover comes with a limit of the claims. Some companies offer one claim in a year and some companies also offer 2 claims in a particular year. This cover varies company to company, so it will not ask you how many claims are allowed in NCB Protect, but a question can ask you, a customer is having NCB Protect cover and he has made at least one claim is allowed, that is the reason this cover will exist. Okay, so you will have to carefully answer the question, what will be the NCB in the next lap or in the next renewal. Okay, we have a question in the chat box from Nilesh. Sir, NCB is claim made basis or claim settlement basis? Okay, so let us go back to the NCB and read this line very carefully. Very good question. So it is claim made or pending during, one second, yes, what is it written? It is claim made or pending during the preceding full year. So what does this line means is, I have intimated a claim in an insurance company. Okay, my claim is outstanding. Pending means outstanding. Even if a claim is outstanding, I am not eligible for NCB at the time of renewal. Now even if the claim is repudiated by the company, I am not eligible for the NCB, but it is applicable only in one case. If I withdraw that claim, then I am eligible for the NCB next year. Now this is a controversial thing which I am talking on the screen, because many people will say, nahi, withdrawal ho gaya to kya ho gaya, surveyor fees has been incurred. No, ideally if you go by the book, once the claim is withdrawn by the customer, the customer will get NCB for the next year. This is applicable throughout the industry and almost all the private insurance companies are allowing NCB if a customer withdraws a claim. Okay, why? Because the repudiated claim can be challenged in the court of law, but a withdrawn claim cannot be challenged in the court of law. So they are looking at it from that perspective. Okay, if a customer is withdrawing a claim, it means the customer cannot go to the court to challenge this, right? But if you repudiate a claim, you can make the NCB 0 and this can be challenged in the court of law, right? So claim made means I have taken a claim of say 5,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees, 1 lakh, it doesn't matter. Even if I take a claim of 500 rupees, my NCB will become 0. Even if my claim is outstanding at the time of renewal, I am not eligible for NCB. So it is claim intimated, settled, paid or outstanding, I am not eligible for NCB. As simple as that. Okay. So let's go to the question number 1. Now we will solve some questions. Probably your doubts will go away. Okay, we will be doing some questions on NCB and the doubts which are coming to your mind will not be there. Okay, there is one question in the chat box. When claim is pending, also he is eligible for NCB as per your statement, sir. No, when the claim is pending, he is not eligible for NCB. Pending means outstanding. If a claim is outstanding in the books of an insurance company, the customer is not eligible for NCB. No claim made or pending. Yes, I am saying no claim made or pending. कुछ भी claim किया नहीं and there is no pending claim also, then the customer is eligible for NCB. See, if a claim is withdrawn, you will have to assume, you will have to read that statement as, okay, the claim was made but it was subsequently withdrawn. So it is not in the books of the insurance company. The interpretation is like this. Withdrawn claim is considered not claimed. For simplicity, you can assume any claim settled or outstanding, you cannot take NCB, as simple as that. And those are the wordings of tariff. Those are not my wordings, but the interpretation is what I am telling you. Okay, Q1, D4Q1 0. Okay, I started receiving the answers. Vehicle is registered in the name of Mr. Joshi and covered under policy this. He was enjoying NCB of 35%. He sold the vehicle to Mr. Jadhav. Yes. Transfer endorsement passed. Mr. Jadhav wants to renew the policy. What will be the NCB? Like we already discussed, the NCB is of the owner and not of the vehicle. So the NCB at the time of renewal will be 0%. Okay, the vehicle is transferred and Mr. Jadhav has no history with the insurance company, so he will start with the 0% on the renewal. Okay. Sorry. Question number 2. You can answer 2A, 2B, 2C or 2D. Okay, waiting for the answers in the chat box. Nilesh, read the question carefully. Okay, so let's discuss what is happening in this question. 1 second. Yes. So Mr. Pawar is holding a private car policy with NILDEP, Invoice Protect and NCB Protect. Okay. And there is one claim in the policy period as mentioned here. Date of accident is 12/12/16, which is falling within the policy period. He was enjoying 45% NCB in this particular period. Okay. So as he has taken NCB Protect, he will be eligible for next lab, and next lab is 50%. Also you can see policy period is what? 1st August 2016 to 31st July 2017, and he is coming for renewal in the month of September. Policy is expiring in July and he is coming in September. It is within 90 days. So he will again be eligible for next lab, that is 50%. Okay, clear? So you have to read the question very carefully. Next question. Please answer 3A, 3B, 3C, 3D. Simple questions, no calculation today. Waiting for the first answer. Please write 3A, 3B, 3C, 3D. Okay. See, you have to read the question very carefully. Okay, what is happening in this question is the policy period is 1st August 2020 to 31st July 2021. Okay, policy period is clear. It was having NCP of 50% in this policy period. Now the claim has triggered, the vehicle is met with an accident on 30th of July 2021. Okay, now he can intimate the claim on the same day, he can intimate the claim on 31st of July, or he can intimate the claim even in the month of August, first week, second week also. If he is having we obviously will be calling for the documents like accident date proof and all, but this date of accident is falling within this policy period, okay, in which he was enjoying 50% NCB. The claim can be settled after 1 month, after 2 months, after 3 months, or after 6 months also. It is beyond our control. That is the reason we say any claim outstanding or paid. This claim was outstanding in this policy and this policy was renewed. Probably he must have renewed the policy 15 days ago also. And the question is asking what will be the actual NCB applicable for the policy period starting from August 21. So the actual NCB will be 0%. As a claim was outstanding in this policy period, he will not be eligible for next level of NCB and he will be getting 0% NCB, right? Suppose, now taking a practical scenario, a customer generally renews a policy 15 days in advance or 10 days in advance, and on 15th of July he is not aware that his vehicle will meet with an accident on 30th of July. So he has not declared any incorrect fact, okay. It is unfortunate that just 1 day before renewal the vehicle has met with an accident. So now it is the duty of the insurance company, not the customer. It is the duty of the insurance company to tell the customer, sir, we allowed you the NCB on the basis of your history of 11.5 months, but as there was a claim in the last 2 days, your premium will increase by this much amount because your NCB has become 0. Now if an insurance company fails to recover this premium, it is none of customer's fault and you cannot penalize the customer for this. Okay, I hope the things are clear. Question number 4. Please answer 4A, 4B, 4C, 4D. Yes, nil DAP add-on was given, but NCB was not given. Nil DAP has nothing to do with NCB. He will have to buy a NCB Protect cover. In the previous question, there was no NCB Protect cover. No issues, don't be sorry. Okay, 4C, 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 all of you are saying 4C, okay. Mr. A is holding private car liability only policy with, for that, okay, with 0% NCB, he has not claimed. Okay, those who are answering B, please read the question carefully. There is a catch in the question, okay. So the previous policy is what? You just check, liability only policy. So if the previous policy is a liability only policy, does a customer earn any NCB in that case? As there is no OD premium, there is no NCB. Okay, so when he comes for a renewal of a package policy, he has no history of a claim free year in the case of OD, right? So he will not be eligible for any NCB. We will start with 0%. Okay. So sometimes we get confused. Okay, liability policy was there, now he is coming for package policy. Absolutely no way you can allow him NCB, okay. You will have to give him 0% only. And these policies are generally renewed with inspection in many companies. Because all of a sudden now he wants a package policy. So, your antenna should raise, oh wow, why he wants a package policy now. So generally most of the insurance companies, at least in private car, are insisting for the inspections. We call it pre-inspection. Let's go to next question, question number 5. This question is short but not sweet. Think and answer. You will require a notepad for this question. Waiting for the first answer. Good. I have received the first answer in the chat box. So let's start. Okay. So like I said, this question looks very simple and short, but it is not simple. You'll have to apply some calculation in this question. Okay. So the question is like this: date of registration of a vehicle is 2018. Date of accident is 2020. And it is asking what will be the NCB slab in 2022. Okay. So if the date of registration is March 2018, generally the insurance is taken 1 or 2 days before the registration, then only the RTO will register the vehicle. So for this question, we have to assume that the customer has taken first policy on 30th of March 2018. The policy will run from 30th of March 2018 to 29th of March 2019. Okay. This is the first year of insurance. Any claim in this policy period? No. Next period will end on 29th of March 2020. Any claim in this policy period? No. Next policy will end on 29th of March 2021. Any claim in this policy period? Yes. Let me write the full policy period so that there is no confusion. It will be 30th of March 2020 to 29th of March 2021. Let us write there was a claim in this policy period. Okay. Now next year will be till 29th of March 2022. Okay. Any claim in this policy period? 30th of March 2021 to 29th March 2022. Any claim in this policy period? No. But the NCB slab will be 0% because there was a claim in the previous year. Now, 1st April 2022. Suppose the customer is not renewing the policy for 2 days. He will come to our office on 1st April. He can come, right? 1st April 2022 to 31st of March 23. For this year, the question is asking what will be the NCB. So after 0, the next slab of NCB is 20% as there was no claim. So the answer of this question will be 20%. Correct? Yes, many of you have answered it correctly. Wonderful. Going to the next question. Level is 2 to 3, 3 to 4. Scale 2 to 3, 3 to 4. Okay, there is one query in the chat box. Any consideration taken for leap year for counting the number of days? No. Ideally, we do not take. Waiting for the first answer. 6A, 6B, 6C or 6D. This is a leap year question. Okay, 50% option is not there in the options, but you have to check whether he will be eligible for 50% NCB. Okay, I have started receiving answers. Let's solve it. Okay, so the registration date is 2016 and the date of accident is 2019 January. Okay, so now the months have a gap, so we can quickly calculate this. Policy is running from February to February. Claim has occurred in the month of January. Okay, so February is 16. There is no need to count from 16 to 19 because anyways in the 2019 there will be a claim. Okay, let me write because otherwise it will be confusing. Let me write it fully. 16 to 17 doesn't matter, 17 to 18 doesn't matter, 18 to 19 there is a claim. Let me write it on this side. February 16 to February 17, then February 17 to February 18, February 18 to February 19. There will be a claim in this period because the month is January, so we will write claim. Okay, next is 19 to 20, 20 to 21, 22 to 20, 21 to 22 and then 22 to 23. How many years completed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is 7th year of the vehicle, it is saying. Okay, so this will be first year, this will be second year, this will be third year of the vehicle, fourth year of the vehicle, fifth year, sixth year, and this is 7th year. So for this year it is asking what will be the NCB. So we have to start counting from this point: 0%, 20%, 25% and 35%. So for 7th year of the vehicle, okay, the NCB will be 35%. Clear? Okay, already answered. Now we are back to the calculation question. NCB questions are over. I don't think we can ask any further question from NCB. All the questions that can be formed from NCB are covered. So now this question is from the concepts that we have learnt already. You have to check why this question is there on the screen today. Have we learned anything today that is making this question a new question? Waiting for the first answer. Seven A, 7B, 7C or 7D. Okay, first answer received. Let's start solving this. So this question is very long to read. I will just highlight some important points. Mr. Mohan has insured his vehicle Swift 1199cc. First things first, write the excess right away. 1000 rupees. Private car Swift. Okay. ABC Insurance Company on this date. His vehicle met with an accident on 15th May 23. Covered in policy period. Vehicle was registered Mumbai RTO on 27th of March 2020. Okay, registration year is given. He has opted for all the add-ons. Now this is the most important point in this question. That is the only reason this question is again on the screen. Okay. So is there any need to calculate the age of the vehicle? No, because he has already opted for all the add-ons. He has opted for nil depreciation add-on. Why we calculate the age? To calculate the depreciation. As there is no depreciation, there is no need to calculate the age. So in these kind of questions, whether a part is a plastic, it is a metal, it is fiber, it doesn't matter. You have to add up everything and deduct excess. As simple as that. So in these questions, what we write is directly parts, irrespective of the metallurgy. So total of the parts is 4,000 plus 6,000 plus 10,000. Parts total is directly 20,000 rupees. Labor is 3,000 rupees. Paint is 4,000 rupees. No depreciation on paint also. Answer total will be 27,000 rupees. Yes, there is an option A is the answer. Am I correct? No, because excess is yet to be deducted. So excess and salvage are same. Okay, nil dep does not mean सब कुछ मिलेगा. Many times we sell this policy by saying सब कुछ मिलेगा. Excess नहीं मिलेगा, salvage नहीं मिलेगा. Okay, so you have to deduct excess and salvage before getting the answer. So correct answer is option B. Let's go to the last question of today's session. Now here is a disclaimer. This question will have a different interpretation in different insurance companies because of the cover being offered by the insurance companies. So if you are not agreeing with what I will tell you how to solve this, it is completely okay. Probably your organization has filed this cover in a different manner. But for this session, I want you to apply all the logics which have been taught, irrespective of which organization you are working for. Waiting for the first answer in the chat box. Difficult question? No, not difficult. Just apply the logic step by step. You will get the right answer. Okay, I have started getting the answers. Good. So rest all is same. I will just touch the points which are important. It is a nil depreciation policy. Okay, and it is also having endorsement number 23. So yesterday we studied endorsement number 23, right? 23 says I will cover the parts which are excluded like bumper, headlamps, lamps, tail lamps, but I will pay only 50% of the assessed loss. 50% of the assessed loss. It never says 50% depreciation of the parts. Okay, so the moment you see a nil depreciation word in the question, forget about the age of the vehicle. All this data is of no use. Okay, just check this policy accident date. If policy period is given, this date should fall within the period, but you need not calculate the age. Rest all things will be same. Coming to the seating capacity, excess will be 500 rupees. Now let us start calculating. The parts total is bumper 4,000 plus headlamp 8,000, parts total will be 12,000 rupees. IMT deduction, I am repeating the word IMT deduction, not depreciation. IMT 23% deduction will make this 6,000 rupees. Labor as it is 10,000 rupees. The total will be 16,000 rupees less 500 rupees excess. You will get the answer as 15,500 rupees. Correct? I 100% know that there are some confusions. Why deduction if there is nil depreciation? It is because your organization has filed the nil depreciation cover in a different manner. There is one organization which allows the reimbursement of this deduction also. Okay, so do not get confused. There are covers like ABC. So do not get confused. What I am teaching is not matching with practical. It is not like that. What I am teaching is absolutely as per the motor tariff. Okay, so ideally if the company has filed a regular nil depreciation cover and there is a 23, the calculation will be like this only. Okay, thank you. So this is the answer to this question is option D. Correct? So there is one question, the savior, is there any method to calculate salvage based on the value of the parts replaced? There is no method given in the tariff to calculate the salvage, but in practical what we do is we take the 10% of the metal parts. For example, the metal parts are costing 1 lakh rupees. We are repairing a vehicle and the metal parts are costing 1 lakh rupees. So we take 5 to 10% of the cost of the metal parts as salvage if nothing is given. It is given by surveyor, suggested by surveyor, but there is no written rule for this. It is just the market practice. Ideally it goes on the condition of the part, it goes on the weight of the parts, it goes on the type of the brand. For example, if I am replacing a wheel of a BMW, okay, and if I am replacing a wheel of a Swift, ideally you will think that the salvage value for the BMW wheel will be very high, but actually it is very low because the BMW wheel second hand market is not that high as a Swift market. If I am replacing a BMW door and if I am replacing a Swift door, in terms of percentage of the part, I will get a better salvage value for a Swift than a BMW because the buyers for a second hand BMW door will be very less in the market. So there is a lot of dynamics behind the salvage. So ideally we don't get into it. Whatever surveyor suggests, we just check whether it is falling within the range of 5 to 10% of metal parts. If it is, we go ahead with that. I hope I have answered your query of salvage. Next is Nilesh question. Sir, what is the difference between nil depreciation and nil dep plus? Okay, so some companies offer nil dep as well as nil dep plus cover. Nil dep plus is nothing but a improved version of a nil depreciation cover. Now my organization offer a nil dep cover in which there is a separate excess at the time of claim, but in nil dep plus cover there is no separate excess at the time of claim. For examination there is no need to understand this because it will make you further confused. For simplicity you can just assume that it is a better version of a nil dep cover add-on which was filed earlier. Okay, so let us go to the Google sheet to check whether we have got any doubts. So very few questions today because there was only 1 day gap. Yes, so this is yesterday's question. I could find the answer to this with a proper proof. I will produce it in front of you at the end of all the questions. So next is minimum premium. Yes, I got the basis for these questions also. Again, I will be opening a file on the screen. Let me zoom the screen so that you can also see the questions. No, it is 125% should be fine. Okay, So let us take this question first. Day 3, first numerical, please explain depreciation on paint. You have taken 12.5%. I would request you to please watch day 2 session, in which we have explained how we take depreciation on paint. You will get the answer why I have taken 12.5%. okay. Next is difference between legal liability between a package and a liability only policy regarding the passenger sitting in the vehicle, fare paying or non-fare paying. Okay, this is a third party question. Let me try to answer this. As I am not the subject matter expert, you may find a better answer in your office, but I will give you the answer to the best of my knowledge. See, generally there is no difference between these two covers. It creates a difference in a commercial vehicle, because in a commercial vehicle we are charging the TP premium per passenger. Okay, see, when we do a rating of a commercial vehicle, we generally do not see the CC. Okay, when it is a passenger carrying vehicle, we charge the premium on seating capacity basis, or even if we are doing it on CC, we see how many passengers are sitting and we charge TP premium for each and every passenger. See, suppose if it is a 17 seater bus, we will be charging the TP premium per passenger. Okay, so in that case there will be some difference, fare paying and non-fare paying, because every person sitting in that bus will be paying a fare. So those, any liability occurring to those people will be covered. Non-fare paying means we generally call this as gratuitous passengers. If someone is calling for the lift, or you are just telling your friend to sit inside the car for a lift and you are dropping him, so that becomes the occupant of the vehicle, and as there is no separate premium paid for that particular passenger, those passengers' liabilities are not covered. Now this is my interpretation. Obviously the interpretation of various offices, various courts will vary. So I suggest you, for examination point of view, this question is absolutely out of course. It will not come in the exam because it is an objective paper, right? But if you want to have a better clarity on this, I suggest you go to your TP cell and you check what is the practice with that particular organization, because it varies office to office, organization to organization. Next question is, in day 3 session yesterday regarding insured's liability problem, can you clarify if the sum of the total insured's liability is depreciated amount in excess? Should we not include the excess and that amount is deducted from the bill? It is to be borne by insured. Okay, insured's liability question, the last question which we solved yesterday, two-wheeler question. So you are saying, should we not include excess as the, no, you are getting confused at one point. When we were trying, first calculation we did, the total was coming to 1800 rupees, insurance company's liability, right? And the next calculation what we did was the total bill. See, when a workshop is billing to a customer, he will not bill the excess. He will just, he can only bill the services which he is offering. He is offering parts and he is offering labors. He has charged parts of rupees, for example 2000, and he has charged labor of rupees 1500. So he can only bill 3500. He cannot bill excess and salvage, because these are not the services what he is offering. So total bill is 3500 and insurance company's liability is 1800. 3500 minus 1800, you get your answer for customer's liability, that is 1700. It is as simple as that. Next is, please take a session on Motor MV Act 2019, important changes from examination point of view. Yes, we have this scheduled in the coming weeks. We will be taking these sessions of important sections only, but you don't bank on me for this particular thing, because I am not the subject matter expert. I will try to highlight maximum things which are important, but don't count on me. I suggest you go through the rest of the resources. Let's go to question number 1. Whether 1 year LMV license is required for transport vehicle? Yes, it is required. Let me show you where it is written. So this is CMVR. One second. This is Central Motor Vehicle Rules. Okay. It talks about, the chapter 2 talks about, this is chapter 2 of CMVR. It talks about the licensing of drivers of the motor vehicle. You will find all the answers in this. I will just help you with some of the answers which you are asking. So one question was minimum educational qualification for transport vehicle. The minimum education qualification for obtaining transport vehicle is pass in 8th standard. Okay, it is still same, there is no change. Okay, now educational qualification of drivers for goods carrying dangerous or hazardous goods. This was also one of your question. So there is no 10th class or 12th class given in this paragraph as far as I have read it. He should be having knowledge of one language at least. It is written, any person holding a goods carrying of dangerous or hazardous goods of human life, in addition to being holder of driving license to drive a transport vehicle, also has the ability to read and write at least one Indian language out of those mentioned in schedule 7. Okay, and they have given a course which he needs to pass. Now this is the course which is given. Period of training 3 days, place of training any institute. This is the syllabus of the course if you want to go through it. There are 3 sections, A, B and C. So this is what he has to do. Okay, there is a lesson for the night driving and all. So you will find all your, I am just telling you the resource. I cannot answer each and everything because it is a memory based question and subject based question, but I can tell you which resource you should check for finding the answers. Now nothing is more authentic than this. Let's go back to your questions. Yes, 1 year LMV license is required. Educational qualification is 8 pass. Age limit is 20 years. Is there any amendment? No. This is what I told you. Only amendment is he has to go through a refresher course of 3 days. Okay. And the hazardous goods validity was earlier 1 year. Now it is increased to 3 years. This is also written in that CMVR. Next question was, what is the minimum premium in motor? Now we have different answers to this question. Okay, let us go to the tariff. Your question was on minimum premium, right? So there is a separate GR given for this minimum premium, GR 16. You have to just go and read GR 16. It is 25 rupees for handicapped vehicles or the special purpose vehicles. Handicapped or mentally challenged person 25 per vehicle, and it for normal vehicle it is 100. So if a question is asked what is the minimum premium and both the options are given, you have to choose 25 as the answer. Otherwise answer is 100 rupees. Okay. Maximum NCB answered yesterday. This is voidable or void. This is voidable. Sorry. Whether DL and TP insurance compulsory or not for two-wheeler less than 35cc. I tried finding the answers for this question in MV Act as well as the amended part. I could not find. The only amendment which I could find is this year they have removed a motorcycle with gear and they have introduced motorcycle less than, two-wheeler less than 50cc. I will show you where it is written. One second. It is written in the MV Act only. So you will find this in MV Act. There is no such rule that they for this 35cc. I don't think there is any vehicle which is less than 35cc in the market. And you can leave this question from examination point of view, but to be honest, I do not have any straight answer to this question. So let us see chat box if any question is left unanswered. CMVR PDF in Telegram group. Okay, I will share. If any vehicle meet with an accident in 3 months of purchase and the policy without ND cover, whether plastic parts will have depreciation 50% as well? Yes. Even if a vehicle meets with an accident on very second day, plastic parts will fetch 50% depreciation if it is a regular policy. That is the reason nowadays for a new vehicle nobody buys a regular policy. If a person knows what insurance is, he will always go for a nil dep cover. Dealer himself will teach him, sir, don't go for regular policy, because most of the parts are of plastic and it fetches 50% depreciation. So ideally the policies which are sold in the market are all ND policies, nil dep policies. I hope I have answered all your queries, and these sessions are adding value to the subject. And if there are any questions, you can always post it in the Google Sheets, and I will be happy to answer those questions. With this, I thank you all.